Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be back to work on the 53 Chevy, and we got this nice pure diesel power intake runner, so we have to go over to the milling machine and mill the head and drill and top all the bolt holes for this. Then we can get the head back together and be one step closer to getting this thing running. Okay, so we got this head on the mill, and I bought this head with this intake shelf already milled off, but it wasn't taken down far enough. So we have to take this down about 100 thou to clean this up and make them all individual runners.
Okay, so I got the bit sharpened. I'm just going to touch off again. Come out and take off 25 thou.
We're just going to take 15 thou for a final pass just to clean it up. Okay, we just took the final pass, just cleaned it up. So now there's 6 individual runners. So this pure diesel power intake runner has this extra tab that sticks out past the head. So we're just going to take the end mill and take a pass off that and smooth it out so we can weld a chunk of steel there to catch those 2 bolt holes. We got this intake clamped onto the head so we can transfer our holes. We'll just use some transfer punches. One problem we've found is this flange. I don't know if you can see, but the flange is warped a little bit. So when you mill the head, your sealing surface for the valve covers gets milled away, and you have to use this flange as part of your sealing surface. So to fix that problem, we're going to put the center of the flange flush with the head, and then the edges will be a little bit proud, and we will mill it down later. Okay, so we readjusted the clamps. So we have the center of the flange flush with the head, and then the edges are a little bit proud. So that way when we bolt it down, there's some material there we can mill off and have it all flat. Just don't mind the white dots here. We had it in the wrong position, so we had to move it back and redo it. So just make sure you line your holes up with this part right here, because this is just a bolt hole, so this bolt can come into here without interfering with anything. And then on this side, some of these bolt holes are going to come into this oil drain for the head, but we're just going to put some thread sealer on these so we don't get any leaks.
I just want to I want to try and feel for stuff. I don't want to break through. There's nothing here. I'm pretty good. We're almost there. I haven't broke through into anything.
Okay, so we got our holes drilled and we have our locations written down, so when we want to get the tap lined up, we'll just go back to the location, so we're right over the hole. So I'm over my hole here now, so I can get the tap started and then bring this other tap down and center it. Just put a little pressure on. Now I have a perfectly straight start for putting the tap in. Just keep a little bit of pressure. It's good to have a spiral flute tap so it can pull the chips out of the hole, especially for some of these that are blind holes. And once it's started, you can lift that up.
So maybe you should mention there that the this tap has a taper on the tip. It's exactly concentric, and all taps that are small, like this one, if it'll ever focus, have a center hole in here too. So this goes into this one to hold it in location. So these holes are breaking through into the bolt holes, which is not a problem. We'll just make sure the bolts are short enough that they don't interfere. So last night after Elijah took off somewhere, I don't know where, I made up this little block and bolted it to the side of the head so that the last two tabs, or the last tab on that intake, can get bolted on out here. And there's the two center punches there from transferring the holes. So we're ready to drill and tap this now. There, and I'm going to finish it by hand because I don't want to break my tap off in the hole.
Okay, so now we got the head repositioned so we can take a pass off and clean up the surface. So we just got the indicator on and we're gonna see what we're working with.
Right on the dial there.
Looks pretty flat overall, just a little bit of pitting.
We got 2 thou run out so far. That's looking really good, isn't it?
Yep.
So it's right back to complete zero here. Oops. So we're out 4 thou there. So this seems to be the worst corner. It's like 4 thou.
Yeah.
That's not bad over the length of the whole thing. It's a long ways across here. Yeah, I think we should probably be able to clean up in about 6 thou. I'm pretty happy with that. But I'm going to take out 5 thou.
Yeah. Now we have the head clamped down this way and we have the intake manifold all bolted on. When we mounted this, we left this lip a little bit proud so we can machine this smooth and even with the sealing surface for the valve covers. So we'll just take a pass off and clean it up.
So this thing looks pretty cool now.
Okay, here's the finished product. Got the surface of the head machined. There's the block we bolted to that tab. And there we have a nice smooth surface. Alright, now we're just going to work on port matching this intake to the head. So we're just cleaning up these welds are a little bit proud.
Okay, so now what are you doing?
We're just clamping this down with all the bolts, so when we take it off there will be a witness mark there, so we have an idea how the ports are matching up and we'll know where to grind them. We just pulled the manifold off and you can see the witness marks here, so we'll just have to, this one's over as far as it can come, so we'll just have to clean it up a little bit. And then this one's pretty close. We'll just have to round off the edges.
Right here, we gotta take this off. This really, it's a really sharp high part right there. That one's good.
And this one here, we'll have to clean up that high spot too. And this one will just round it over a bit there. Just help it flow a little bit better.
So here it is, it's coming together. All opened up nicely. No more of those sharp tabs in the way.
Here's another 12 valve head with the original intake shelf, and right here underneath the intake there's two pipe plugs that go into the water jacket. So on this head, the intake flange covers those up, so we've just put them in there, tighten them down, and then we're just going to machine them down flush with the surface. Here's the finished product. Got those plugs in, machined down nice and smooth. And those two bolts are nice and smooth too, so they won't be causing any problems. Now we're ready to bolt this thing on.